Okay, guys, let's look at the second student task statement called warmer and colder. What it wants us to do is to complete the table and draw a number line diagram for each situation. All right, so when I look at the table, I see that everything starts at plus 40, and then it says 5 degrees colder. Then it says, colder, warmer, and so on. All right, so I want to indicate or point this out that when it gets warmer, I'm going to highlight it in red, it goes in the right direction. So if we go in the right direction when it gets warmer, what direction will we want to go in for when it gets colder? If you guess the left direction, you are absolutely correct. So I'm going to highlight that in blue before we even start working on those number lines, okay? So we're going to do the number lines first, and then we're going to complete the table, okay? So let's get started. For A, we're starting off at 40, so I'm going to do 40 in black. So we're going to start off at 0, and let me get my pencil. We're going to start off at 0, and we go all the way to 40. Okay? And then it got 10 degrees warmer. So here's my little red arrow, and I land at 50. Notice that the number line is counting in increments of 5. The number line is counting in increments of 5, okay? So I know that if it says 10 degrees warmer, I needed to go past 2 tick marks, or if that the length of my arrow should be 2 units long on the number line because it's going in increments of 5, okay? So then for the next one, I still want to draw that black line, which is starting at 40, which we're going to 40. We start at 0 and then we go to 40. All right. And then it got 5 degrees colder. Now, we already said that when it gets colder, we're going in the left direction. And that's what I want to do now, is go in the left direction. When I go in the left direction, I landed at 35. So I can circle my answer. And I can say that my final answer is 35 degrees. And then 40 plus. Now think about it, right? If going forward is positive numbers, what do you think going back would be? If you guessed negative, you are absolutely correct. So, -5. Now, you may be sitting out wondering at home, well, how come we did plus -5 instead of minus -5? And the reason why we did plus -5 is because it wants us to write an equation with addition. I'm going to highlight that in green because we're using addition, okay? We have to use addition. That's the requirement. Okay, so let's look at part C. Part C, I want to start off at 0, which I still have my highlighter. Starting off at 0, and we're going to the magic number, which is 40. Okay, and then it says it got 30 degrees colder, okay? So we're still going left, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And we landed at 10. Oops, I forgot to put that we landed at 35, positive 35. So my final answer is 10. So then I'm going to put 40 plus -30 equals 10. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one is going to say, okay, we're starting off at 0 again. It's just like a game board. 0 is like start. Going all the way to 40. And then it got 40 degrees colder. And remember, we're going in the left direction. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And I landed at 0. So my final answer is 0. So it's going to be 40 plus negative 40. And that equals 0. Excuse me for writing sloppy, guys. Okay. So then the first number is 40 again. All right. We're going all the way to 40. And then we're going back 50 degrees. Because remember, it says 50 degrees colder. So we're going to go back. And we already know that the line, like judging based off the previous one, that 40 is right here. So, which, let me undo that because I don't want you guys to think the arrow stops right there. So 40 goes, if I was to go back 40, it would be at 0. So I need to go back 10 more since we're going to 50. And it's going to be fine. Well, it's going to be 45, 50. So we went back. And we went back 50 spaces. And it's going to give me negative 10. So it's going to be 40 plus negative 50 is equal to negative 10. Okay, guys. Let's see if we have another question. Yep, we do have another question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do A through B. Okay. Which, no, I'm going to do the whole table because I see that it's some change. Okay. So we're going to do the whole table. Now, if you want to do something on your own, you could pause it. But let's look at this table again. All right. So I see that it's 30 degrees warmer, which we're going right. And then the last one says 15 degrees colder. All right, so let's get started. Now, instead of it going to a positive 40, it's going to negative 20. All right, and I was going to make this, you guys do it on your own at first, but when I saw that, hey, it got negative numbers, I got to jump in. So we're going to draw an arrow. Oops. We're going to draw an arrow all the way to negative 20. If you want to do it on each number line right now, you can, because we're going all the way back to 20. So I'm getting my 20s out the way. All right, so we did that part. We got that one on the number line. So now keep in mind that if it's warmer, we go right. And I'm going to write that down. If it's warmer, it's to the right. Colder is to the left. Okay? So it said that it got 30 degrees warmer. So I want to start off at negative 20, but I'm still going to count 30 units now, or 30 spaces, okay? And remember, the number line is counting increments of 5. So it's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So my final answer is 10 degrees Celsius. And my addition equation would be negative 20 plus 10 is equal to positive, oh, not plus 10, plus 30. I apologize about that. Plus 30 is equal to positive 10. So the next one, it said that it got 35 degrees warmer. So let's start counting. 1, well, not 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, so we have 15 degrees Celsius. Gonna be negative 20 plus 35 is equal to 15. I'm gonna circle where it stopped. All right. For the next one, it's 15 degrees. So it's going to be 5, 10, 15. Circle it. And it's going to be negative 5. degrees Celsius. So there's going to be negative 20 plus, and we're adding a positive 15 because remember, warmer is going to the right, and we should be at negative 5. Okay? So then the next one is saying it got colder, and remember, colder is an indication that we're going left. So 5, 10, 15, and we stopped at negative 35. So it should be negative 20 plus negative 35. Oh, not negative 35. I apologize for that. I'm always tempted to put the answer. So it's going to be plus negative 15. And I'm going to put parentheses around that negative 15 so you guys don't get confused with that addition and negative symbol, because a negative symbol looks like a positive, not a subtraction symbol. I apologize about that. And it's going to be negative 35. Okay, guys. So if you had any questions on how to use the number line with this activity, guys, make sure you visit your manager's Google Meet session, and I'll see you guys in the next student task statement.